Hi there. You probably don't know who I am. Well, I guess that's why you're here, isn't it? My name is Ryan Bridgforth. I consider myself an artist or a graphic designer. I've been making designs since all the way back in 2012 when my imaginary soccer teams needed logos to rally behind. So, with this in mind, I created logos for every single city's soccer team and some jerseys to go along with it. Now, I truly believe that the key to an artist is the art they produce. And while I could just show a slideshow of my best work, I like to think that the process behind the art is just as important and interesting. So, to try and show you who I am, I have chosen to showcase one singular project and all the steps it took to get to the final product. The Grand Duke is an operetta created by the celebrated British duo Gilbert Sullivan and was first performed in 1896. As the resident graphic designer of my local Gilbert Sullivan Troupe, I was tasked with the job of creating a brand for our production. So, with that being said, I began the first stage of my design process, research. Google is truly my greatest asset during this time. This process of research can take quite a bit of time as I try to immerse myself fully in the original material. Luckily, in the case of the Grand Duke, I found this great website called the Gilbert and Sullivan Archive, which contained a treasure trove of photos, playbills, posters, and even reviews of the original run. I spent about a month going through as much of this information as I could, writing down notes as I went. It was during this time that I picked up on a vital plot point involving a statutory duel, where playing cards are used to determine who legally dies and who lives. Because of that, playing cards were put down as a key aspect I should keep in mind moving forward. The next stage is probably the most vital, the sketch phase. This is where I finally start producing some visuals to go along with my initial ideas. I like to keep in mind that I don't have to make the art very good right now. I mean, I don't even know what this is supposed to be, but just good enough that I can prove some initial ideas with actual visuals. My goal was to create two pieces of art, both related to playing cards. The first being a primary design, the two main characters styled like the cards they both draw. The second, an additional design created to look like the back of a card. One of the most recent additions I've added to this stage is an inspiration board. This is a collection of designs, colors, or just general moods that I want my art to take after. Bicycle playing cards were a huge inspiration for my designs, especially for the second one. So, finally, with all this in mind, I'm ready to start working on the design for real. Half the battle during this time is trial and error. You come up with a good idea, you try and execute it, and either it works or it doesn't. A lot of the bicycle designs I had added to my inspiration board had this sort of organic looking decoration. I really liked it, so I tried them myself. I drew them, added them, and decided I just didn't like the look after all. Sometimes my execution just isn't as good as I wished. Other times it just doesn't fit as well as I did in my head. It can be tough leaving behind hours of work, but that's art, I guess. Even the things that don't make the final cut still push the design further, and the more I gain an understanding of what works and what doesn't, the better new ideas come along. When those ideas do work though, I'm rewarded with designs far beyond what I imagined before. After the organic decorations failed, I went back to some key aspects I had written down in my research page and found Greek culture as inspiration. So, I decided to fully commit to adding Greek patterns and keys to the design instead, and lo and behold, it looked absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, I can't forget to mention that the primary design was also coming along well. After working with our troupe's costume designer and consulting a couple pictures of the original production, I had a very clear idea in my head of what I wanted. It's funny how some things work out almost exactly like your original vision with some time, effort, and a whole lot of creative drive. The final true stage of design is the small details, cleanup, and feedback phase. The key is adjusting simple things here and there to make the design more pleasing to the eye. I've always benefited from getting another set of eyes on my designs too, just so I can be given another opinion. Really, it's surprising the details other people can catch that you might have completely glazed over. Feedback is also very important. I consider it different than getting another set of eyes, as usually this is coming from my client specifically, but in the case of this project, my director gave me complete creative freedom to do what I want. So, because I had the final say in the design, I really tried to refine it as much as possible to a level I had truly never gone for before. With that, the designs were complete. I was quite happy with how they turned out, and luckily so was my director. So, it was sent off to the printer, and now every time that I go to my weekly practice, I am surrounded by a sea of red with my hard work displayed on everyone I see. Well, there you go. I hope this was insightful as to who I am and what I do to accomplish my goals as an artist. If you would like to see more of my work, head over to my website tinybird.design or follow me on Instagram. I look forward to seeing you around. Bye for now.